My name is Mark Earnest, Haynes Borough Manager, and I just wanted to also thank the Port Steering Council for organizing this. It's a tremendous turnout, and we very much appreciate all of you that have come from quite a ways away. Some of you more locally, but I appreciate all of you coming to Haynes to learn a little bit more about our community and what the Haynes community has to offer in terms of economic development opportunities and growth. I just wanted to say just one thing. It was very regarding the theme of the summit of working together. It's kind of interesting because I think the Haynes Borough, we've met with every representative of every organization and company that's present here today over the last 2 years, and state agency and Yukon government officials. And it's been really an interesting process in terms of establishing relationships, learning what the opportunities are, what the challenges are, and how to work together to find solutions, to provide opportunities to transport large equipment up to Casino, for example, and some of the other mining opportunities, just in terms of hauling freight through our port, working with companies that both mining and energy companies in the Yukon that are looking at export. So there are a lot of challenges ahead of us. We're behind the curve in terms of infrastructure advancement, development. We have some gaps that we're looking at to close, both in the road, the highway upgrades, as well as dock upgrades, and depth of our dock base is one that's come to light. Bulk loading equipment and that sort of thing. So those are some of the areas that we're looking at very hard. As Assembly Member Schauble had indicated, we just are finishing up with the first phase of a port development strategy, master plan. We expect that will be available for the public here by Monday. We'll have our first draft report out. The next step in that process is to look at the opportunities that have been identified through this process and work toward finding these solutions to close those gaps that we do have in our infrastructure. Work with the state and federal agencies from ADA, Department of Transportation, and many others that we have good working relationships with to address those and try to bring our infrastructure up to the level where it can serve the industry. I think that one other very significant event was here about 2.5 weeks ago. Haynes Borough Assembly adopted a major comprehensive plan update that was 2 years in the making, and it was a very thorough process. It involved community surveys. It involved numerous public meetings, hearings, and the results of that are available on the borough website, at least the summary of the recommendations. We'll get the whole report out here very shortly. But I did want to touch on a number of objectives that were identified in the comprehensive plan under the general topic of economic development. And I'll just read the highlights, but it's ensure that the Haynes Highway and its bridges are capable and certified to handle industrial loads necessary to transport or LNG and other similar loads to and from the Yukon, northern British Columbia, the interior Alaska. Another is to actively market the Haynes Port and highway facilities and capacities. Another is to prepare a port development plan, which is the report I was just mentioned, for identifying opportunities for which Haynes is competitive, estimate revenue and jobs to communities, risks, and identify infrastructure, marketing, and other investments needed to increase market share by Haynes Borough and private partners. Based on the development plan's recommendations, identify decision-making sequence, strategic investments, funders, and timelines, and take systematic action. And then it goes on to describe opportunities with LNG transport and many others on down through education with the schools and the various other tasks that are on the horizon. So it's just interesting that we've really, it's very, very encouraging that we have this opportunity to meet with everybody here. We're available to answer any questions, and with our local tribe organization, Haynesboro, and private owners of facilities here, I'd like to really thank you all for coming and look forward to continuing the discussion.
Thank you, Mark. Hey, I'd like to thank everyone for coming down and meeting with us, and I'd like to thank the committee for putting this all together. I think this is really a great idea, and I think Mark and Deborah just about said it all for the Haynesboro, but for Assembly, I'd just like to say the Assembly's been working for a long time to try to improve our harbors and our transportation down through here. And I think it's great that, you know, everyone's here. They can see that we're doing these improvements. And I think what the goal of the borough here is to create a stable economy down here in Maine, a year-round economy. And I think, you know, that the Assembly is open for suggestions from everyone, and we just greet it with open arms, and I just appreciate everyone being down here. And just, like I said, Mark and Deborah said most of it, and I just want to thank everyone for coming and welcome to Haynes. And the last comment that I'd like to make for everyone here is just that Haynes is open for business.
I'm Phil Benner. I'm the harbor master here in Haynes, and the only thing I'd like to relate is if I do have documents that have the depth at the face of the dock, weight limits, and things like that. I'll have those available tomorrow. I'll be around here and also in the harbor master's office right down the road. So things that you want to know, the actual operating, day-to-day operations that there was questions about, I'm more than happy to handle those.
Thanks for coming. I'm Danny Gonce with Alaska Power and Telephone, the local manager for the electric utility and the telephone as well. We are in the process of looking at several new electric generation plants here in the Upper Lynn Canal, and we are looking at expanding our current generation capacity, and we realize that should any projects that we are currently discussing, that we will need more generation here, and we are looking to meet that need.
My name is Alan Turner. I'm with First National Bank Alaska. All I really have to add to this conversation is that we're here. We have we actually, you know, we're a small community in a beautiful spot in the world, and we want to, of course, keep that beauty and have everything the way we like it here. But we are a small community, but we do have a large bank presence in First National Bank of Alaska here, in that we've got a bank that's been serving Alaskans and helping Alaska to grow for over 90 years. And we just right here, so you know, what I can offer is actually an invitation to any and all of you who are, well, let me see, actually I love that saying, I wrote it down, and I want to be able to offer my handshake and my ability to engage the stakeholders and work together with your next speaker here and helping to facilitate anything that will help Alaska grow in a positive way. So I'll turn the mic over to Jim with Ada.
My name is Mike McLane, and I'm from Anchorage. I'm a representative of the private property owners along the coast out the highway. Had a long-term relationship with Hertz and Al Schaefer, and was a good friend of Edward Perry, who's no longer with us. My passion as a lifelong Alaskan is to build bridges between communities and look forward to development opportunities that can make a future for our kids. And that's why I spend a lot of my time volunteering my efforts as a surveyor, engineer, commercial fisherman, and now I'm a real estate broker. But I really like being engaged with meeting our neighbors across the border and keeping good communication going with all communities, including Scalo. Thanks for being here.
I'm Larry Beck. I've been associated with Chilkoot Lumber Company since its inception in '87. And at that time we bought the Chilkoot Lumber Dock and all the facilities there from the state of Alaska. And I'm representing that property. We would like to sell it or partner with someone that wants to develop it, that sort of thing. So I'll be around here. I can be found right in your hotel, folks. Thank you.